Welcome to Window on Wellness. I'm Executive Chef Jackie Hesse for Rutland Regional Medical Center, and today I'm joined by Dr. Audrey Dudzik of the General Surgery at Rutland Regional. She's new with us, and she's going to be cooking some soup with me today, right after this break.
Welcome to Rutland Regional Medical Center. We are Vermont's largest community hospital with 37 specialty clinics. Healthcare organizations have always fixed people once they're broken, but at Rutland Regional Medical Center, we do more. We provide nutrition counseling, weight loss help, smoking cessation classes, all the things that help the community and individuals stay healthy. And we do it all with this promise: to listen, to respect, and to care, always.
Audrey, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. We're going to be doing some soup.
Great.
How do you feel about that?
I love soup.
Right? It's a really, really great recipe. It's a sweet potato ginger soup.
That sounds like it has a great flavor profile.
It does. It has some really nice warm spices. And what I really like about it is that it's really nice fall through winter. So you can really use this for kind of a quick dinner. You can bring it to a party. It's really, really great for many different applications. So I'm going to put you to work peeling our sweet potatoes.
All right.
We have 2 pounds of sweet potatoes there. So I have you set up right there with a board and a peeler.
Okay.
If you don't mind starting there.
Have they been washed, or do I need to wash them?
They have been washed.
Excellent.
Good question. You seem like you're going to be a natural at this.
I am not a natural at cooking.
No.
But I am a natural at eating.
Well, hey, that's a very important part of it. Do you cook very often at home?
I don't. In fact, my husband and I are remodeling our house right now, so we don't have a kitchen. We have a refrigerator and a George Foreman and a microwave. So our cooking options are a little bit limited.
Kind of like a Kitchen Impossible, maybe you could make with all that.
It could be a reality TV show.
Yeah, maybe.
What could you make with just this George Foreman?
With the George Foreman. But you're a surgeon, so you must have some excellent knife skills.
I do have pretty good knife skills.
So you're new to the area. Where are you coming to us from?
I have been here for about 4 months now. We moved up, my husband and I moved up from Georgia. I was living in Savannah, Georgia, doing my general surgery training at a very busy hospital down there. But I really missed the snow. I missed the winter weather. So when I was looking for jobs and this one came up, I was enamored when I came to visit. I really loved the people at Rutland Regional and in Rutland, and liked the area. So I'm happy to join the team.
That's great. We're happy to have you.
Thank you. So far, it's been great.
So real quick, what I'm doing, just so you have an idea, so we'll have the whole picture here. I need 3 tablespoons of minced ginger. So I'm just peeling the ginger. Have you ever peeled ginger before?
I never have.
So I think it's really kind of fun. You can do it with a peeler, like what you have, or you can take a spoon. The skin on ginger is actually very thin, and it comes right off. You just kind of apply a little bit of pressure to the top of the skin, and it just peels right off.
Look at that.
But ginger is tricky because it has all these kind of little kind of cracks and little kind of knobs on it. So it is a little bit of work sometimes to get a good piece. But
ginger feels a little exotic to me, and you see it in the grocery store, and it just looks like dried up nubbins. And so it can be kind of intimidating to pick that up and cook with it.
It's quite healthy, though. Ginger has a lot of really great, like ginger ale. We recommend to patients a lot. If you have a tummy ache, or you're just not feeling great, we always kind of growing up get some ginger ale. And
yeah, it's great for nausea.
Of the great properties, right, of ginger. So that kind of is and it has massive, massive flavor. So it's really going to pack a lot of punch in our soup. So I'm going to just kind of keep working on this. As I said, you've got 2 pounds of sweet potatoes over there.
Excellent.
So once you get those peeled, we're going to dice them into about a 1-inch cube, kind of, a fairly good sized chunk. I'm going to keep working on this ginger. It definitely takes a minute to get it all peeled.
So peel these, and then 1-inch cubes for the sweet potatoes.
Yes.
Got it.
Exactly. And then to cut the ginger, I brought this microplane tool. Ginger itself is a little bit stringy as it is in its whole state. So you can either mince it up with a knife, or you can run it through a microplane to do some of the work for you.
Okay.
I think microplanes are just the greatest invention. It's just a great little handheld grater. So I do have a soup kind of already going here, so that we'll have one to try. The soup takes about an hour to cook, the sweet potatoes. So we'll want to have some that we can try. So I'm just going to get this one warming up here so that we'll be ready. and we can show the whole process. So put it to the side.
All right, almost done with the potatoes here. Jackie, how long have you been chef at Rutland Regional?
It will be 3 years this December. It feels like much longer. Time has just really, really been flying by, but it's just been a fantastic experience thus far. I was thinking, though, the other day, actually, I've been cooking for almost 15 years. I started cooking when I was 15, so it really is amazing how quickly time goes by.
You were way ahead of me. I think when I was 15, the only thing I could make was a grilled cheese and maybe some ramen noodles.
Hey, grilled cheese you should see some of the grilled cheese that people do. I mean, with the different kinds of cheeses that you can use.
Especially here in Vermont. All
Yeah,
sorts of good cheese.
absolutely. Have you been able to try some of our cheeses?
I have. Of course, many of them are wide release, so you can get good Vermont cheese even in Georgia or in Michigan, where I used to live. But I've been able to try some of the smaller ones. We recently went over to the Calvin Coolidge birthplace.
Okay.
And there's a small cheese place there. We tried some samples that were absolutely amazing.
Nice.
And I convinced my husband not to buy them because at that time we didn't have a fridge in our kitchen either.
Oh, yeah.
Which meant we would have had to eat them all in the car that same day, which might not have been the healthiest choice.
Right. Right. Moderation is definitely key.
Absolutely. May I borrow a knife to dice the sweet potatoes?
Absolutely. Let me see. Let me get you one right here. Couple choices. We'll give you that one.
Thank you.
So I have my ginger just about done, and then I'm going to dice half of an onion and get that sauteing in our pot.
So we've got 2 pounds of sweet potatoes, ginger, and half an onion.
Yes, that's where we're at so far.
That's pretty easy so far.
Yeah, pretty affordable, I think, is a nice bonus to this recipe also. So I've got my ginger. I kind of minced some, and then I did some on the microplane. So we're going to puree it all up. It's going to get nice and soft as it cooks. So,
Jackie, I think my measuring stick went into metric. I'm doing 1 centimeter, not 1 inch.
Oh,
is that a problem?
Nope, it's not, because as long as you do them all similarly, you'll be just fine.
So they can cook even?
Yes, exactly. So no worries there. If you wanted to make this recipe quicker, you could certainly cut them smaller.
Okay.
And we'd get there quicker. No worries. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in my pot here to get that going. And then I said what I like about this recipe a lot is the warm spices. So it has nutmeg, allspice, and cinnamon.
Nice holiday spices that folks will probably have at home in the spice rack already.
Absolutely. Adds a lot of really nice flavor. So I'm going to just do half an onion.
I'm always so intimidated by cooking shows. They do fast knife work.
Oh,
I admit I'm better with a scalpel than with a chef's knife.
Lots of practice. I've had a lot of practice at this, and you've had a lot of practice in your field. So I'm going to do my half an onion right into the pot.
It's got a nice sizzle to it.
Mm-hmm. Those are looking good. Just let those saute till they start to get tender. So when you do get your kitchen all together, what are some things that you do like to cook?
I'm a baker.
Oh,
I really love baking different kinds of cookies and breads, cakes.
Well, so you got me there. I am not a big baker.
I find that the two are, baking is more like chemistry.
Absolutely.
And cooking is more like an art. And I've always been kind of more of a science person than a creative type. But I really admire the flavors and things that you can come up with cooking.
Well, it's true. Baking is so technical. It has to be very, very precise. Otherwise, it's not going to come out.
Which I like. If I follow the recipe exactly, it turns out great.
Oh, right.
Something like this I think I could handle, though.
Oh, it's very, very easy. Very user-friendly. These onions are intense today. I'm going to start crying.
It's got a nice flavor smell to it. Mm-hmm. Rolling off. I guess not a flavor, smell.
Throw in our 3 tablespoons of ginger. Let those get soft. Make sure the soup's not getting too hot here. And then once we have these all sauteed, we're going to use, what I like about this recipe, again, is it's really versatile. So it's gluten-free, which is really nice.
Well, that's good.
And it can also be made vegetarian. You can certainly use chicken broth for this recipe, but what I got is it's a vegetarian, no chicken broth. So it mimics chicken broth, but it's actually vegetarian. So we're going to use 5 cups of that in here with our sweet potatoes, our onions, and our ginger.
Great. No chickens were harmed in the making of this soup.
Right. So it's actually, yeah, but it could actually be vegan because we have a non-dairy creamer we're going to use. So
Great.
if you wanted to use chicken stock, absolutely fine.
You mentioned this would be a great thing to bring in like for lunches at work.
Yeah.
And it's great because it's versatile for everybody's dietary needs.
Right, absolutely. We see a lot of gluten-free at the hospital these days. A lot more people doing vegetarian. So you can certainly change this any way you want and adjust it to your taste, which is great. Just turn this down. We want like about a medium heat on this. So we do not want to burn our onions or ginger. Okay.
Now we're cooking on a gas stove, which is something I'm used to, but I know a lot of people in Vermont have the electric stoves at home. So what would you recommend for settings when making this soup?
To start, you want to saute your onions medium-high. When we get everything rolling in here and hot, you definitely want to turn it down to a medium to a low. So you can have just a nice consistent simmer. If you boil it too strongly, everything's gonna evaporate off too quickly. So that box there had 4 cups, and I'm gonna add an additional cup to make 5. Go.
This smells great. I love the simplicity of it so far. It's definitely something I could handle.
Easy. Very, very easy. And you could actually probably pull this off on a George Foreman. So in here, what I have is a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, as well as 1 tablespoon of packed brown sugar. Mix that all in. Get our heat back up just a little bit.
Almost done with these 2 potatoes. 2 pounds is more than you think.
I know, 3 potatoes.
3
really
potatoes.
Adds up pretty quickly. Just gonna mix everything in. And can you smell already the cinnamon and the ginger? I think that's really kind of a secret when you're trying to cook more healthfully is the spices. Using things that are aromatic and really strong like ginger and cinnamon because you add really great flavor without adding any extra calories. All the good stuff in there. And they have some of those antioxidant properties and digestive properties. Keep us healthy.
With all these potatoes in the soup, it'll be high in fiber too, which is good for preventing diverticulitis, something that I see a lot of as a surgeon.
Absolutely.
They say you should eat 30 grams of fiber a day to avoid diverticulosis. So I tried that when I was in medical school. It's really difficult to get that much fiber in one day. It's a lot.
It sounds like a lot of fiber.
So what I tell folks is do your best. But something like this would be really great. Tastes wonderful and has all that fiber in it already.
Okay, so we have this to a nice simmer, and we'll add our potatoes in just a minute. Clean up my little work area here.
I'm falling behind.
No,
Are we ready for them yet?
Fine. Yeah, just whenever you're ready, we'll add them in. Okay. Got my measuring cup. This one's all ready to go.
Okay, so I did little 1 centimeter cubes instead of 1 inch cubes.
They look very precise. Great.
I feel like I need a measuring stick on my board.
No, but as you said, that's what's great about cooking. We're following the recipe, but
there's some wiggle room.
It's some wiggle room.
If you don't do it exactly, it will still taste good.
It's still going to taste really good. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt to taste here, and just a little bit of black pepper. Love black pepper. I always have to restrain myself because I can definitely put too much. Add just a little tiny bit of spice in the background.
It smells wonderful. It's got that nice spicy, the bite from the ginger, but also the sweetness from the nutmeg and the cinnamon.
It's very warming. Nice cold winter Vermont night. It's going to be really, really,
A good cold weather meal.
really warm. Yeah. Perfect. You know, that 2 pounds really does look like a whole lot more when
It
you have
ends
it
up
all
being
diced
a lot
up.
of potato, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, this little bit's good too. Okay,
So I'll let you carefully pour those right into our pot.
here we go. Whoops, potatoes going in.
And so as I said, this is going to simmer for about an hour over about a medium heat. You don't want to have it too high of a boil. You want to get your potatoes nice and soft. You can add a little bit more water to this if you find that after about an hour and the potatoes have cooked, if it's a little bit too much reduced, you can just add some water to it. And you can certainly make this recipe with water if you wanted to. You've got enough good flavor going on in there.
Rather than the vegetable broth or the chicken broth.
Or the chicken, either way. I think the broths are great. They definitely have, you know, some good flavor too. You could definitely pull this off with some water if you wanted to. So this soup I'm going to just pull forward. So this is the one that's been cooking for about an hour. I did start to puree it just a little bit earlier. So what we'll do is we'll finish pureeing it here in just a minute. Great.
Now, do you compost?
I don't. Actually, it's something we're working on in the hospital for the future, which is going to be really, really nice to get a nice composting program going.
I'm scared of the bears. I think if we composted, the bears would have a heyday in my backyard.
Yeah, you never know. So that's going to simmer. So we'll move on to this guy here. So as I said, I have got some of it pureed. This is about the right consistency, I think. We can add some water to it after if we need to. But what I'm going to do first is add half a cup of a soy creamer. So it's a dairy-free creamer.
So this is about an hour after the potatoes have gone in.
Yes. Yep.
So then we add the creamer.
Yep. Your potatoes will get nice and soft. Your liquid will reduce down just a bit. I started the puree there. And what we're going to use is an immersion blender. Have you ever used an immersion blender before?
I have not. I have heard of them.
They're quite a bit of fun. You can use a regular blender if you have one at home, but these are pretty inexpensive and they are really, really great kitchen tools. So I'm going to just put this guy in here on low. Being very careful not to pull it up too fast and get splashed.
I'm not wearing my surgical mask and eye gear.
That may actually kind of be a good kitchen tool. So you can see it's just kind of getting nice and homogenized.
Yeah. Adding just a little bit of creamy touch to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what's nice. You don't need a lot.
So you can get that flavor and that consistency without adding a lot of extra calories.
Absolutely.
Whoops. Oh,
It might get a little messy. So it looks a tiny bit thick. I'm going to add just a little bit of water to it.
Okay.
I'm going to have you hold that just so it doesn't run away on me.
Got it.
We'll start with, well, maybe just a quarter cup just to thin
That
it
smells
up
fantastic.
a little bit. And you want to give it a try?
May I?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to hold this just above the bottom of the...
just above the bottom. There you go.
Do I have to hold the button?
You gotta hold it down, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't think that other direction.
This is very easy to use.
It's a lot of fun, I think.
And it makes a nice smooth soup here. It smells delicious. With that nice waves of cinnamon and the gingery spice. And what consistency are we going for at the end?
That looks good right there.
This looks
So
good.
that looks
All right.
good. I'm gonna just grab a spoon. And again, if you think you need, if you like
gonna
it a
set this in
little
the
bit
sink?
thinner, yeah, this guy comes right off.
Oh, nice.
You gotta make a little bit of a mess when you're cooking. Otherwise, I don't think you did it right.
It's a delicious mess.
So if you like it a little thinner than this, again, you can still add a little bit of water. If you want to stretch it out just a bit more, it's totally fine. If you like a thicker soup, I do kind of like a thicker soup, so I think it's nice right there. But
I like something you can dip your bread into.
absolutely, this would be great with just a little bit of kind of like a multi-grain, like seed crouton maybe, maybe just a small kind of toasted bit of bread. We have our fantastic Rutland-made Westminster oyster crackers, which are delicious. That would be really good. You can definitely garnish a little bit more cinnamon on here if you like. Just kind of as a, I'll give you that for
thank
tasting
you.
and see what you think.
Bon appetit. Ooh, that is really good.
That ginger is all there.
I was worried as we were making this that it would be too sweet because of the ginger and the cinnamon and the nutmeg, that it would almost taste like a dessert. But the potatoes give it a great savory taste.
Yeah, I think so too. Hopefully something you'll go home and try when you get your kitchen together.
I'll have to write it down. Go over it with me again. We did 2 pounds of sweet potatoes,
2 pounds of sweet potatoes, 3 tablespoons of ginger,
half an onion.
5 cups of whatever kind of broth you choose.
Okay.
Have a cup of that soy creamer. You could definitely use kind of a skim milk or 1% milk if that's what you have at home. A little salt and pepper to taste. One of those warm spices.
And we had a little bit of
up.
olive oil in the beginning to
Yep.
saute those onions in. Not very many ingredients, but really easy and
Very
delicious.
easy. Packs a lot of punch.
I'm going to have a little bit more.
Please. Thank you so much, Dr. Audrey, for coming with us. I really appreciate it. It was so great to
This was
have you.
fun. Thank you for teaching me how to cook something.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have you back again sometime.
Would be great. Thanks,
Thank
Jackie.
you.
Welcome to Rutland Regional Medical Center. We are Vermont's largest community hospital with 37 specialty clinics. Healthcare organizations have always fixed people once they're broken, but at Rutland Regional Medical Center, we do more. We provide nutrition counseling, weight loss help, smoking cessation classes, all the things that help the community and individuals stay healthy. And we do it all with this promise: to listen, to respect, and to care, always.